talking to Ghost. No phone call, no text.
It's not like I didn't want to apologize.
You don't have to explain anything. It was just a flame. So how have you been? God, I hate that thumbs up stuff guy stuff.
This film was highly anticipated by my dog Fame. He has been telling me for months and months and months and months and months and months and months, yo, this movie is gonna be the shit, bro. We gotta go see this. And if you ain't going, I'm going with somebody else. No. Like, he was definitely adamant about pulling up to see this film. And yet last night we went to the 10:30 showing at AMC Theaters in White Marsh, Maryland, and we actually sat down and watched this whole film. Gentlemen, initial impression. I know I played this trailer on this show some time ago. What were you guys' initial impressions? I don't know whether you guys were closing your eyes. Dad Panther sometimes avoids watching trailers because it ruins his viewing experience. But did you guys see the trailer, and what were your first impressions?
My initial impression, I was excited because I was a big fan of the Fall Guy TV series, and I did watch the trailer because I knew it was going to be, a total different rendition of what we got back in the '80s. So I was excited.
Yep. Dad Panther.
I was very excited. I grew up watching the show right there with what's the other one? It was Knight Rider. And all those kind of shows that kind of went into like the A-Team and stuff. So I was excited. I did watch part of the trailer before I covered my eyes, but yeah, I was excited.
Okay. So as we get into the highs and lows, Dad Panther, why don't you take it away so you can give us what really happened in the film?
The highs for this movie was just, it knew what it was supposed to be. And what I mean by that is it was a movie that was okay with the fact that I just want you to enjoy this. There were scenes that they were doing the fighting and they would like call out what the fucking fighting scene was taken from. Born Identity, The Rundown, Fast and the Furious. Like, they would literally just go ahead and do that and show what it is to kind of peel it back for being a stuntman or being in the industry. Scenes where for someone like me, they were showing the setup of the lighting and how, you're trying to get that right stunt shot or that shot in general. I thought it was really, really interesting on the realness or the Easter eggs from the original show. Him wearing the flannel, some of the stunts they were doing, him being on the rig were very similar to shots that were from these shows for I think 5 or 6 episodes. Towards the end of the movie, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the callbacks to see some of the same people in the movie. I thought the stunts were done well, where it was challenging to kind of put that in. I thought the humor was a nice blend. I thought the production was there, the music. You had a song going that was like a score in the background that became the main song in the end, and you just felt it and everything was kind of moving. I love the fact that they would keep messing with that fourth wall. Just a part of the movie, spoiler no spoiler, is they say early on in the movie that we're trying to write the third act and they're making the script and they're showing you, but behind closed doors, and what we didn't know, at least I didn't know from watching the trailer, was Ryan and Emily, if I'm saying her name right, Miss Blunt, their chemistry was so amazing. It changed the direction of the movie from it being a full action movie to being a romantic comedy that's centered around action. And so when they make that joke, they literally had to rewrite the ending of this movie for that. There's so much more I can go on as far as what the high is. The low is that the movie is over. That was it. That's the only low I have, that the movie is over.
All right, Eddie, take it away.
I want to thank the Dad Panther for not making me feel crazy, because I thought, based on my love for the show, that I was just gonna maybe missing things, because I have nothing but highs for this. I loved the action. I loved the comedy. I love how it was written. I love the chemistry between both of the lead characters as far as their love interests. I love that her situation was causing her to have, the way she was feeling was impacting the way she was directing the movie. Like the Dad Panther said, I'm gonna be piggybacking a lot of what he was saying, but a lot of stuff was coming full circle. They make sure when they were dropping little hints or Easter eggs early on, things were coming back full circle, which made the writing tight to me. It made me really appreciate it. I love the fact that as a stuntman, he basically was the movie it was like a play on words. They call him the fall guy because of the incident at the beginning of the movie. Then he was the fall guy for the plot. And then also as a stuntman, generally, that's where the original name comes from, is just being the fall guy. So all that stuff, I felt like the creativity and the wittiness, all of it was woven in very good together, and I really liked the way the story played out. I loved how smart his character was in all situations except with her. I like how he became a little stupid around her. He was a little giddy because he was in love, but I love how he was able to think on his feet in all these other situations. I love the fact that he even as a stuntman, they do practice coordinated fights. So he was really good in one fight scene, but then as he went against somebody who was officially skillfully trained, military trained, he was struggling a bit. So I like that there was balance. He wasn't just this nonstop kick ass, but he could still hold his own. Yeah, so I felt like the way they did the characters, the balance of it, everything was good. The overall story that they were trying to give us, I thought it just worked well with the whole setup of shooting a movie and everything being coming to life, and like the Dad Panther said, coming back onto the screen to help finish the ending. My only lows, there was a moment where a situation was happening under duress. I don't want to spoil it, but I felt like, like they thought they got the smoking gun. And I was like, yeah, a lawyer would chew this up. But fortunately, the events after that kind of solidified, that moment. So that was cool. And then also, I've always been a big fan of the original theme song from the TV series. And one of my favorite lines was that I've never spent much time in school, but I've taught ladies plenty. And as they were playing this remade version in the credits, they totally changed the lyrics and left out a whole bunch of stuff, and it hurt my heart so much that I had to put that as a low. But other than that, that's all I got.
All right. I don't know how to do this because I am once again, my education level is not as high as you two masterful reviewer gentlemen. As a regular consumer, I went to the film and had a classic ball. But let me tell you exactly the reason why I enjoyed it so much. I realized watching this film, I love seeing scenery about the making of the film. The thing that drew me in the most was seeing all of the activity behind the scenes, how each group of people are coordinating to play their part in what's going to happen on camera, whether it's the stunt people or it's the production people or if it's the people that's doing the costumes and the da-da-da-da. Like I was like really I got like goosebumps watching the two main the director and our action hero guy. They're on set, they're kissing, but there are people. It's not a private environment. You're constantly around large groups of people. Everybody's working, but they're just in their own bubble. I love seeing that. I love seeing the props and all of these different things because it's a lifestyle. I think one of the things they did a great job with is selling the lifestyle of being a part of movie and film production, that you're constantly on the go, you're always in a certain place, how people will fall in love with certain people because, hey man, you're just good at what you do, I can depend on you, I trust you. They did a great job with telling you that it's not a cult, but it is a tight-knit family of people. They spend all of their time together. Like all of these different elements became a character in this film that these that the story revolves around. And as much as people on the outside may not understand why it's so important, like I think they did a great job setting up why our hero is so adamant about getting this thing done. It's not just the love of this woman, but it's also the love for this is what we do, and I wouldn't want all of us to lose out if something were to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was like, wow, I would never think that would be a motivation. That's such a new motivation because that was not something I ever thought about, because you always think, well, somebody else could come along, but you know, you'd have to watch the film to really understand. I was super impressed by that. I was super impressed to have a unique story from my part, because once again, I don't have the history with the Fall Guy television show. So this new world was different. Even like the beautiful storytelling and the twists and the turns, the usage of lighting, the usage of color. I think it was so great. The choreography is so great. Like, the fight scenes, and the film doesn't waste time. When it slows down, it's really slowing down to set up something to put you right back into the action. There's enough nuanced, funny stuff here and there, from there's a fucking unicorn in this bitch. Like, what I mean? It's just so many small, little, cool, unique things that color just even the subtlest of moments. Every conversation has a purpose. Every conversation, every character talking in person leads into something else that helps something else. I think this is a sign of great writing. There's no wasted time. There's no wasted relationships. There are no waste. Even the extras have purpose. You know what I mean? The guy in the background or the little guy in the alien suit ends up playing moments. And it's just, there's so many great things. And it's just like, when me walking into this going, man, this is just one of these Hollywood movies. They're just going to blow a bunch of stuff up and the story's going to be trash. And that's honestly how I walked into it. I was looking at this as, man, they giving Ryan Gosling a bunch of money and they're just going to shoot a bunch of stuff. But this is a true like Hollywood love story, not about the love characters, but the love of Hollywood and the commitment to Hollywood and what Hollywood is about, and how even in the love of this world, how there are always, it's never perfect, and there's always the fight to try to make things right, regardless of the situation, to try to create something great. And then also you got that layer. Then you have the layer of, you have a whole film showing respect, showing love, showing and just highlighting stuntmen, of all shapes and sizes, whether it's women, whether it's men, whether it's big dudes, whether it's small dudes, like they show it to you throughout the film. They show you the brotherhood of the stuntmen, all the stuff that they have to go through. They put you into the mix of how grueling it is to live that life, but also showing you how stuntmen are respected. It may not be something that the outer world sees, but it's something that within this acting world, this Hollywood, that these guys are a vital piece of the puzzle and they are respected. That this whole film, even at the end, is showing you different stuntmen. You get to see all of the stuntmen that were a part of this film. They are highlighted. They are given love and respect. I think that was phenomenal. I was not expecting this to be this good. I totally walked out of the theater all smiles going, holy smokes. Like, this was such a good moment. And I'm so happy I got a chance to see this film. I am probably going to end up buying this movie. I'm probably going to be watching this 2 or 3 more times. This is something that's so cool that I could watch it by myself. I could watch it with friends. It's one of those, if it comes on television, I'm just going to watch it no matter what part of the movie it falls in. I feel like there's stuff I might have missed watching it the first time that I feel like I can go up and get. That's very rare to get a film for me that is this high budget and like very Hollywood polished to be this good. So big kudos and shout outs to them. And they deserve 100 million in the box office, 200 million in the box office. Will it happen? Probably not. So thank you, gentlemen. You guys' review so much better than mine, so unique and very nuanced, and I thank you for that.
I think you knocked it out of the park.
I just do the best I can with the little bit of brain cells that I have. You know what I mean? So let's get down to that review. All right, is it a classic? Is it a good watch? Is it catch on stream? Is it not doing it for me? Is it a oh, if you ever show me this ever again, I will. All righty then. Dad Panther, does it get a slap or does it get high praise? How far apart are we?
I'm going to say that this movie isn't just an action movie. It's an action romantic comedy, and it hits on all cylinders. So I'm going to say it's a classic.
Oh,
multiple replay value. Classic. I was made for loving you, babe.
oh yeah. All right, Eddie, where we going with it?
I have to give it a classic.
Okay, all right. I will also give this a classic. I recommend this for everybody.